Nasone 1984. Italian for big nose. If I'm not mistaken, that's what the Romans called their water fountains. Nice. The web key is correct. And here's our sulky little fellow. I'm sending Lars a text with the coordinates and... Help! But what?
And you should see those breathtaking curves.
I have to remind you, my son, that lust is one of the 7 deadly sins.
But I was talking about my bike. Now, if you'll excuse me, Father, I'll proceed with my sightseeing. I had just received a text message with the coordinates for De Vilta's house. Alice took longer than expected. Well, after all, she was all alone in Rome. I had nothing else to ask him. At the moment, I didn't... At the moment... But what? My green dart? Oh, that's absurd. A clamp?
Well, that's to be expected. Didn't you see the no parking sign?
A no parking sign for bikes?
That's supposed to be a bike? I thought it was a scooter.
The traffic warden must have thought the same. I didn't even get to try the new assisted acceleration system.
Oh, it's a true disaster. You really could use a hand. A hand from someone who knows how to get around here in particular.
Okay, I take the hint. State your conditions.
You, met the librarian, right?
Gaia. Very cute.
Yeah. What kind of chance do you think someone like me could have with her?
Do I have to be honest?
Watch what you're saying, mister.
Wait. Do you mean I should repay your courtesy by helping you to win her over?
If you succeeded in such a desperate undertaking, I'd be grateful to you for the rest of my life.
Okay, give me time to make something up. As absurd as it may seem, I found myself thousands of miles from home organizing romantic liaisons. On the other hand, Oliviero seemed like a good guy. Besides, to tell the truth, I wanted to do something good. See you later. Hi. Let's talk about Oliviero.
Oliviero? What should we discuss about him?
You know him long?
Well, we went to primary school together. I tried to read in peace, while he did nothing but pull my hair and run. I hated him.
Us guys tend to improve once we grow up.
Not in his case. He always has his head in the clouds, plans stupid jokes, gets into trouble. He's a lost cause.
Hey, but you two...
You're funny, Lazarus, but this is my business.
So, what do you like to do when you're not here in the library?
Well, I do like the cinema.
Oh, you're a cinephile.
A cinephile, if anything. Cinephiles are dog lovers. Anyway, no, I wouldn't call it a passion. I go often just to please Olive.
I realized that Oliviero was stuck in one of the bleakest and most depressing places in the world, the friend zone. Anything else? I don't know, evening strolls by the sea, exotic food, stuff like that.
Excuse me, but are you hitting on me?
No, I swear. I mean, I'm just passing through, and,
Come on, relax. I was just pulling your leg. You turned red as a beet.
I gained nothing, apart from the usual embarrassment. How did Alice always put it? Carefully observe who's in front of you. Every detail could be relevant. Take care, Gaia. I had nothing else to ask him. The fountain was full of crystal clear water, adorned with fresh flowers. They really knew how to make those kinds of things special in Italy. I leaned out and managed to read the title on the cover. Volanta. I supposed it was Greek, but I didn't know what it meant. Hi. What are you reading?
A botany book.
Are you kidding me?
It's funnier than you might think, and it's full of illustrations.
I prefer shooting, pirates, or stories about cowboys and Indians.
I like flowers. I love studying them. I love collecting. I love picking them. And the scent they leave on your skin is simply amazing.
What if Gaia's love of flowers was also the key to her heart? It was worth telling Oliviero. Take care, Gaia. Hey, Oliviero. I know how to reach Gaia's heart.
In such a short time?
The answer is as effective as it is predictable. Flowers.
Flowers? Maybe 20 years ago that would have been a brilliant idea. But nowadays, girls go crazy for smartphones or luxury cars.
Listen to me, Knucklehead. Right now, Gaia is sitting at her desk with a book in her hands. I asked what she was reading with such interest, and she answered,
"Oh, it's just a book about flowers."
"Do you like them that much?" I asked. And she,
"Bucatinis manigali. Oh, I love flowers."
So your idea might just be less moronic than your hat.
The light just went on over your head.
I know a place not very far from here where a wild orchid grows that is very rare and beautiful.
What are we waiting for? Lead the way.
Come on, Lazaro. Off we go.
So much, we're just around the corner. We went deep into the dark forest.
A few hundred feet and you're already out of breath? Anyway, there's the flower over there, on that rocky ledge.
Pretty high. How can we pick it from down here?
I have no idea. That's why I brought you.
All right. How difficult could it be, after all?
If you need a hand, let me know.
The tree could be useful in reaching the orchid.
I foresee trouble.
It's another one of those moments.
What kind of moments?
One in which I risk my neck. Give me a hand climbing onto that branch.
Hey, are you sure? It's really high.
Don't worry. I'm very close to being a licensed parkour expert. But who?
Never mind. It's just Tekla. Shall we proceed?
I couldn't get there. It was up to me to get it. Olive could give me a hand to increase the tension of the branch, but at the moment he couldn't reach it. Maybe? It was up to me. Olive could... The branch got... I couldn't get... He was all bliss. It was up to... The branch... Olive, I have an idea. Hold the branch as far as you can, and then release it suddenly.
We did it, Lazaro.
And in the end, it only cost me a couple of sprains and a hairline fracture to the sacrum.
Gaia will be thrilled about the flower. It's just that...
What's on your mind now?
Now that I have this flower at my fingertips, I realize that it is too easy. It can't be enough with something so insignificant. Damn Tekla and her snake.
Tekla's snake? Hey, no, wait, what are you talking about? No dice. Oliviero seemed to be in a trance and disappeared among the branches without even bothering looking at me. I might as well pick the orchid, after all the effort I did to get it down. Come back immediately! That crisis put me at a crossroad. I could continue to move forward, ignoring what was happening to me, or finally accept the evil that was devouring me, yes, and fight until the end. I'd start by grilling Oliviero. Can you tell me what the hell just happened?
I decided to be realistic. I'm absolutely unworthy of a girl like Gaia. I first need to finish my job.
What job are you talking about? Does it have to do with that snake you babbled about in the clearing?
I never told this to anyone other than Tekla.
What are you two involved in?
This is personal business. Leave us alone.
As I suspected, Oliviero had something to hide, and my intuition suggested it was linked to my case. I really needed to talk to this elusive Tekla. At least Olive was a man of his word and removed Green Dart's clamp. Now I could reach the Marquis de Vilta's house to try and get a permit for Castle Sancta Leo... Sanctus... Anyway, for his castle. I lurked near the house until I saw DeVilta leave in his vintage car. In the meantime, I had also recovered the tracking bracelet. That thingy proved itself to be very useful. The house was protected by a numeric code. Then again, I didn't expect to find the door open. Until I couldn't try random codes the whole day. The possible fountain was full. DeVilta hadn't returned home yet. The screensaver showed an aquarium. Couldn't you just buy a real one instead? The reflection from the TV prevented me from understanding what was portrayed in the photo. Who knew if the universal remote control trick would also work on that device? Bingo! I pressed the buttons on the remote control again, but I soon realized the sad truth. My purebred pony had kicked the bucket for good that time. It had been a faithful sidekick, but now it was time to part ways forever. So that pompous dwarf was married. Maybe that could be my key to entry. So that pompous dwarf was married. Maybe that... So that... Father Carlo left.
You just missed him. You'll find him around the corner, at the Church of St. Francis in Verma.
Good to know. As much as it might seem absurd, he could be able to help me. Bye. Take care, guys. Ads of various kinds, missing pets, dental... Wait a minute. A helicopter? Was it possible it belonged to the very... The ad displayed an address, and on the bottom an additional note. The tour of Castle Sancti Leonis is cancelled due to permit revocation. Hello? Hey, is anybody there?
I don't think I said come on in.
Are you crazy? You could have killed me.
If I really wanted to kill you, I wouldn't have missed the target. What do you want? I'm not buying Bibles or vacuum cleaners, so if that's why you came, I suggest you leave the house before I sit down. At that point, I could decide to improve my aim. You're still here?
Do you always welcome your guests like this?
I never receive guests. At most, clients. Are you a client?
It was Oliviero who referred me to you. He claims you might know something about getting permission to access Castle Saint something.
That pompous Marquisaster. I wanted to organize a tour that ended with a visit to the castle, but he refused to sign this useless piece of paper.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me you have a permit?
I never throw anything away. Especially a nice piece of paper. You know, for when you're in the middle of the woods and nature calls.
Can I have it? I need it urgently.
Do you need it right now? I have some toilet paper in the bathroom.
No, I need it to get into the castle.
Ah, I don't have any use for it. But I don't think you'll be able to get it signed. That small-time noble only pays attention to those who have the same color blood as him.
Blue?
Black as pitch.
I also need to ask some questions. I saw you pass by in a helicopter earlier.
So what?
It's not something you see every day. Besides, I got the impression you were looking for something.
You're wrong. I was just taking a sightseeing tour of the area.
Tekla just offered up a nice lie. Tell me about the snake.
You should have asked my father. My area of expertise is flora. Fauna is just a secondary pastime.
You know full well what I mean. Not long ago, Oliviero cited a snake as he cursed you. And I'm pretty sure you know what he was talking about.
And yet I don't have the slightest idea, all right?
Lie number 2. Do you know anything about Duke Cagliostro?
You mean Count Cagliostro.
Uh-huh. Then you do know something.
They talk about him in town all the time, but that doesn't mean anything.
That's enough. I don't need to have studied kinesics like Alice to know that you're blatantly lying.
I don't know what you're talking.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you do. Since I got here, both you and Oliviero have done nothing but talk in riddles. Initially, I just thought you were being coy towards a stranger, but now I'm convinced. You two are hiding something.
Who are you, really? And what the hell do you want from us?
I knew I had to give something if I wanted to get something. Alright, let's dispense with the disguise. I'm not a tourist. I'm a detective on the trail of a sect of lunatics. I still don't know why, but my investigation led me right here, to San Leo, in the footsteps of Count Cagliostro.
A detective. Are you kidding me? Looking like that?
You're free to check my credentials with HPD in Miami. Now it's your turn. Tell me what you're up to, and what Cagliostro has to do with it.
You were convincing, but I still can't trust just any guy who comes here and purports to be a great detective. I'll have to do a background check. Let's talk again this evening, at nightfall, in front of the fortress of San Leo. And now get out of my place before I really lose my temper.
The church was exactly like I expected it to be. Colorful and bright, but austere. I wasn't exactly an expert, but it looked very ancient. Hello, Father Carlo. Lucky I found you.
Forgive me? What do you mean? Were we playing hide and seek with the children of the oratory?
No, I meant... Wait, are they playing hide and seek? I love hide and seek.
Do you need something?
Oh, yes, definitely. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Ask me? Are you sure?
Absolutely not. Have you got any documents for the wedding celebrated in this church?
Certainly. How else could I remember all those names and dates?
Perfect. How much do you want to let me look at the data related to the wedding of the Marquis de Vilta?
We men of faith haven't engaged in such things since the scandal of selling indulgences, my dear Giacomo. De Villa? De Vilponi? De Vilta, 23rd of November 1992. Oh, but here I read about a divorce a few years later. How unfortunate.
Father, you just gave me some vital assistance. See you later, Father. Finally, inside. There it was, right there in plain sight. De Vilta's signature. The canvas revealed two things. The second was the void the divorce must have left in him. Everybody suffers, after all. The signature on the canvas could have been just what I needed. I had to use it. My goal was to copy the signature, but that wasn't the right way. My goal... I had to use... The form was properly superimposed, but I still couldn't see the signature on the canvas. The signature... The lamp would make the canvas more transparent, facilitating the forging work I had to do. Even De Vilta himself wouldn't have noticed the counterfeiting. With the correctly signed form, I could finally access the infamous Castle Sancte Leones. Hey, I eventually learned the name. The upteenth closed door. It was useless to persist, unless I found a key somewhere.
You again? If I'm not mistaken, I gently suggested that you vanish.
I don't think that will be the case.
But what? How?
And now, gently lead the way.
This way.
But did Lake let you enter?
Sure, I have a regularly signed permit.
That's incredible. Go ahead.
Hey, you.
Yes?
I warned Mr. Beringler about your arrival, and he seems unhappy about it. Very unhappy.
And you? Aren't you happy to be in my company?
If you don't shut that mouth of yours...
What's all this commotion? Lake, I told you to show our guest in. Mr.
Bundy. Lazarus Bundy. I have a form personally signed by the Marquis de Vilta.
Please have a seat in my office.
See you soon, my friend.
It doesn't end here.
Would you like a drink?
I don't drink, thanks. At least I was able to spare myself that vice.
Good for you. Then, Mr. Bundy, I feel it's necessary to clarify some points. I am Walter Beringler, the curator that the Marquis de Vilta has designated to manage his property. As such, I can't help but ask, how did you get a permit to access the building?
I had been provident enough to come up with a good excuse for just such a possibility. Well, let's just say the Marquis and I have some business together, of which I can't openly talk about. Just know that I arrived here in San Leo with but a single aim. Spend the little fortune I've accumulated these last few years.
Fortune coming from?
Oh, well, I'm a partner of a company dealing mainly in boats.
Boats?
The Mosbear Company in Miami, to be exact. You have no idea how profitable that sector can be. I strongly hoped he didn't check my credentials. On the other hand, even if he did decide to check, he would need time, while I intended to complete my investigation as soon as possible.
Well, if the Marquis has decided so, I guess there's nothing else to do. But please, pay special attention. This castle is very ancient, and as such, delicate.
I'd be like a child in an Egyptian museum. That is to say, I would snoop around everywhere, and occasionally break something without being seen.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must ask you to come back tomorrow morning for your visit. It is now evening, and we have to close.
I didn't realize it was so late. The appointment with Tekla and Olive occurred to me immediately. I had to hurry if I didn't want to miss them. They're late. I hope they hurry up. I don't feel at ease here.
I don't have any hostile intentions.
Said the guy who just came out of the darkness dressed like a plague doctor.
I'm glad to finally meet you personally.
Give me a valid reason why I shouldn't rip that mask off and smash your face.
I can list a few. First of all, you can't be certain you're capable of it. But the main reason is that you're curious to hear what I have to say. Well, now that I have your attention, I'd say we can start. Until now, you've done a very good job. The lead that took you from Miami to San Leo was very weak, and a less resolute man wouldn't have traveled so far from home.
Or a less desperate one.
You're very frank.
And you have proven to be smart. And a smart man knows perfectly well how dangerous a desperate man can be.
I won't underestimate you as Radwed has done, rest assured.
Speaking of Radwed...
Radwed is the withered petal that risked letting the entire rose die.
Rose?
Now we have more pressing questions to face. First of all, your mission here. Maybe you still haven't fully realized how many things we must bring to light.
I can sense that there is something huge under my feet.
The lost seal of Count Cagliostro.
Lost seal?
An ancient symbol, lost for centuries, that I searched for my whole life without success. It's the reason I chose you. I'm compromised, but you're free to move. You're alert, and you're motivated enough.
That's all? You could have found tons of detectives like me.
Touché. There's another reason, but we'll talk about that later. Now, I have another question for you. After which, you can decide if you still want to smash my face or not. You couldn't have made it this far alone. Have you been helped?
No. Everything I did on my own.
You're very trustworthy. You'd never betray your companions. Excellent. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must leave. I have a train to catch. A train that will take me to Rome at the first light of dawn.
You!
Don't wear yourself out. Don't fight the smoke. Welcome it. Make it yours. Take a deep breath. What you've just inhaled is, of course, a powerful sedative, but also something else. Let me tell you why I chose you. I can cure.
Here we are, Lamberto. I told you to call me when you wanted to go down. That vase you broke was a rare piece from your collection.
You gave us a real scare, Professor.
Who are you?
I'm Alice, Professor. It's an honor to meet you in person.
Alice, like the heroine from the cartoon.
The cartoon came after the books. How do you feel, Professor?
Confused, like I've been sleeping for...
I'm making dinner in a bit, my dear. Of course, consider yourself a guest of the professor. We'll think later about how to get him back to his room.
How come?
The ramp is old and battered. After being used, it takes hours before it will run again.
Maybe I can take a look in a while. I'm not an electrician, but I know my way around. Professor, getting back to us, the reason I came here is to ask for your help. But to do that, I have to show you something.